The personal information of over 270,000 Ledger customers has been released online. And many of you listening have been receiving text messages and emails from scammers. Please pay attention. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this, how to secure yourself, and this is going to be one of the most important videos that you watch. I myself was the victim of a SIM swap. I know exactly how it works and I know exactly how to prevent it. So please pay attention and share this with everyone you know that's in crypto. Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Back in June, Ledger suffered a data breach and they reported that the information of about 9,500 of their customers was released. Fast forward to today and we find out that it was actually over 270,000 customers, and all of this information has been made public online. And a lot of you are getting these text messages and emails. First things first, I want to tell you this hack, this breach has no effect on the crypto on your ledger. Right now, they're sending out these text messages and these emails with links asking you to provide your 24-word seed phrase. If you do, they're going to steal your crypto. Bottom line, you should never, ever enter your 24-word seed phrase on a mobile application or on a web browser. The whole point of a Ledger wallet is that the 24-word seed phrase should only be entered on the physical hardware wallet itself. So the Ledger, the crypto on it will be safe as long as you do not reply to any of those text messages or those emails. Now we need to talk about something else, a SIM swap. This is where someone tries to steal your phone number, and once they steal your phone number, they can get access to your crypto accounts on exchanges. It's very likely that anyone that owns a Ledger also has a crypto exchange, and hackers want access to that. So I first want to say that data breaches are very common. They happen all the time. If you go to haveibeenpawned.com, type in your email, I put a random one here, joe10@gmail.com, you can see this was part of numerous breaches. So breaches happen all the time. And they happen even more so with financial companies, because this is really the information that people want. I'm not defending Ledger here. This is definitely horrible and I would say irresponsible because they're dealing with very sensitive information, but this does happen. This is the part that is unfortunate. Even though this happened to Ledger, in the end of the day, Ledger and Trezor are still the best hardware wallets. You know, usually when something like this happens, people say, I'm going to take my business elsewhere. At this time, maybe you can take it to Trezor. But after that, there's really nowhere else you can go. In the end of the day, the actual Trezor hardware wallet is still one of the best. But everything that's going on right now with this data breach and this hack of this personal information, it is, I would say, irresponsible by Ledger. So now that you know this, I want to tell you about a SIM swap. What happens is someone finds out what your number is, your name, everything about you. They call your mobile provider and they provide all the information they need, all the passwords, and they port your number to their phone. Now that they have your number on their phone, they can use this to access all of your accounts. And typically they're going to go for your crypto accounts, the crypto exchanges. So there are 3 things you can do to prevent this from happening. And right after I tell you these 3 things you can do to prevent yourself from a SIM swap, we will then go over how you can protect yourself moving forward in the future if you ever want to order something like a Ledger or a Trezor or maybe something expensive like a Rolex watch. So first things first, call up your mobile provider, whether it's Verizon or Sprint, any mobile provider, and add a security PIN. A lot of people don't have this on their account. So if a hacker calls and they give all the information, everything's good to go. But when you have a secure PIN, let's say a hacker calls, has all your information, they're going to ask them, well, what's the security PIN? They're not going to know it. They can't move forward. So call up your mobile provider and add a secure PIN. I know a lot of you might not have access to your phone account. Maybe it's on your parents' plan or a sibling. So make sure to ask them to add the secure PIN or ask them to add you as an authorized user. If you're an authorized user, you can go ahead into this account and make changes. Also, when you call and you add the secure PIN, tell the person over the phone, this is number 2, that any future changes to the plan should be made with a live representative. You see, with a hacker, when they call, they go for the automated message. They don't want a live representative. So tell the person on the phone when you're adding this PIN, I only want any future changes to be done with a live representative. And of course, you can tell them about what's going on and that maybe in the future someone might call and try to change the number just so they're aware. In addition, you can get even greater security by requesting from your mobile plan that any future changes, especially a SIM swap, can only be done in person by providing the PIN. Again, in person and providing the PIN. For some people, they might not want to do this, but the whole point here is that you're not going to eliminate the risk 100%. The goal here is to reduce the chance of actually being the victim of a SIM swap because, again, these are companies, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, and they can always make mistakes on their end. So make sure to let them know a big priority notice, specific notes about exactly what you want if they offer those services to you. And again, I'll repeat it one more time, all changes in person. So those are the first two things. Change the PIN and tell them you do not want any changes over the automated machine. Now, the third thing you need to do is secure the email connected to the phone plan. Because when a hacker calls and they provide all the information, let's say they even have your PIN number and they provide it, then the representative or the automated machine will say, we just sent you an email, now check the email to confirm. If they have your email, they can confirm and that's it, game over. They're going to steal your phone number, SIM swap complete. So even if they have your PIN account, right, and they know it, if you secure your email, they won't get in. So the way you can do this is either just make sure your email is safe, so change the password to your email, but even better, you can replace the email, right? Let's say you have a certain email that's part of your Verizon, Sprint, or T-Mobile account. You can change it to a new email. Now the hacker won't really know what's the email to use and they won't have access to it. So you do these three things, it is very unlikely that a hacker, even with all your information, will get access to your phone number. Even one of these is going to be very strong, but all of these together going to be very unlikely. Now, let's say for some reason they get past all of this. They know your email, they know your PIN number, and they get permission from the phone plan to port your number to theirs. Now, they're going to go ahead and they're going to go into your emails. They're going to try to access all of your personal accounts. They're going to try to access your crypto exchanges, such as whatever, Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken. The list goes on. So what you must have, and many of you have it already, is two-factor authentication. What this means is that even if a hacker gets into your, let's say, Coinbase account, and they provide the email and the password, after they provide it, they're going to be asked to provide a two-factor authentication password. This is on all the exchanges. There's either Authy, there's Google Authenticator. You can even use something called YubiKey. So these are very good methods. Do not use text message as a two-factor authentication. Again, I want to say this again. When you provide a password, right, that's the first step. With two-factor, after the first password, you get a second password. If that second password goes to your phone through a text message, this does not work because if the hacker has your phone number, they're going to get right into your account and they're going to send crypto off the exchange. So I'm going to repeat it again. Even if you did not put any of these previous security measures in place, they get your phone number. Even once they get into your crypto accounts, if they don't have these two-factor authentication passwords, they won't be able to access your crypto. And that's really what this is all about. This is why they want to SIM swap your phone. Also very important in terms of Authy. So this is not for Google Authenticator or the other ones. For Authy, make sure that when you're using it or when you're not using it, you disable multi-device. Multi-device is a feature where you can use that Authy password and you can transfer it to, let's say, another phone, or maybe you have an iPad. So keeping this on is dangerous. This should only be used when you're transferring the number or the Authy password to a new device. Once it's transferred to the new device, disable multi-device. Do not keep multi-device on. Very important. So you got Authy, Google Authenticator, and YubiKey. So very, very important, right? So this is the prevention. By this time, you should be safe in terms of not providing any 24-word seed phrases to anyone. Again, this should only touch your physical hardware ledger. It should never touch a mobile application. It should never touch a screen. And then with all of these other measures, hopefully no one will SIM swap you. And even if they do, hopefully they won't have access to your crypto. Now, moving forward, if you maybe want to order another ledger or you want to order a Trezor, maybe you want to order something expensive that will expose yourself, expensive jewelry from an expensive company or a watch, what you can do is use a fake disposable email. Well, it's not really a fake email. You can go to trashmail.com and you can generate a disposable email that you put out publicly, and then you could put your real email, where it gets forwarded to. So with trashmail.com, it's very cool because you can add a lifespan to this email. I can put it for 3 weeks, for example, because you still need communication. If you're going to order something, you need to be able to communicate and receive updates. So you don't want to just put a bogus email you forget about. You want something that you can actually keep for a certain amount of time. So moving forward, this is a very easy one to do. If you're going to order Ledger or Trezor, create a disposable email with trash mail, add a span of maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, and then after you can get rid of it. Now the second thing is the phone number, right? This I find is not so important. You only need one way of communicating with someone when ordering, right? If you have an email, that's good enough. So you can just create a fake number, of course, but let's say you do want a number to keep in contact with. You can use a call forwarding service such as Google forwarding number. So these, I think, this is good. But as long as I have an email connected, or you have an email connected and you can communicate, then these phone numbers, not so important. You can even put a fake phone number. Now, of course, the last one is you need to put your physical address because you need to actually receive what you ordered. So this one, you can't put a fake one. You need to put a real address if you want to receive what you ordered. So what you can do is use a mail forwarding service. I'm going to leave a link of this in the description. I'll leave links of everything I posted right now in the description, but use a mail forwarding service. And this might cost you some money, but just for a one-time purchase or whatever, 5 times a year you're going to order something that's sensitive, use a mail forwarding service. You provide a unique, I would say, disposable address that you give to the company. It's in their database. But after it's sent to that address, it's then forwarded to your address. So let's say you did all of these steps, right? And you ordered from Ledger and all your information was out there. In the end of the day, they wouldn't have your email, they wouldn't have your phone number, and they wouldn't have your address. I hope this helped. I might have missed some things here, but please put your comments down below. I will do my best to answer any questions that you have. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.